I'll kill the last one of you.
What fool would trust a two-cent love potion out of a backstage circular from Youthful's gore? An orc in love. Ha! When this little shattered pig shall liberate the flesh from our faces.
One day, comrade, vengeance will be ours. Satan before his time, far
And I'll handle this threat for all our sake.
You wouldn't hurt a fly, and I won't let you patch a horn on her head.
Bringing your little orchid girlfriend here is like bringing a witch to a house.
We mustn't let the flame spread to the harbour.
We mustn't let the flames spread to the harbour! Come on, mate! Put your backs into it! What if the orcs are sending another?
Come on, man, put your backs into it!
Sorry, all the way to my consoles!
Oh, nothing new, sir. Zombies, skeletons, you know the story.
Our home, our livelihood, all sunk in a matter of minutes while we could do naught but look on. These bleeding orcs, I can't keep off this place for the life of them. They came in here slinging fireballs and swinging swords. Wasn't a thing we could do to defend ourselves.
A love note to the lizard council.
That was a right stunning show of magic you pulled, it was. Wish you'd been around when our own barge went down in flames. With our ship gone, nothing for it but to get a job. Slim pickings around here, that's for sure. Maybe you could keep an eye out, though. Well, we were merchants what seems like a moment ago. With our ship sunk, we're little more than free men with nothing more.
Don't forget the time we got caught passing a love note to the lizard council's wife. Is that why we're going to say that? Speaking of youthful gore, that legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for a joyride?
Ha! Knowing him, he drove it straight to the pub and back.
Sailor, what
Sauce?
news from the main?
Here in Siceal. Ah, of all that cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one. A ship's got a soul too, you know. You did a mighty fine thing saving that barge. For those of us raised in crews instead of families, it's kin to saving a fellow man. Who knows if it's even over for sure? Those damn orcs keep sending us these terrible surprises.
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the lizard councillor's wife. Is that one?
I've got all the remedies!
Speaking of youthful gore, that Lucky Legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I I wouldn't let naught within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Is that Bert?
No, it is. He drove it straight to the pub.
Yes, sir. As fine a specimen as one of her stock, sir. And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthalgore anymore?
Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh winds of Sicile? Name's Conrad. Cargo trader, sea captain, an expert in all things nautical. Folks across Andervale know to give old Conrad a holler when it comes to rare imports and magical items. Those orcs must be out of their barbarous minds launching an attack on a city where a great wizard resides. Though even I must admit they put up a hearty effort.
Yo, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky-chan loves him.
I wouldn't let
I'll
naught within
tell you,
500...
the only time I'd consider waging a suicide campaign like that would be if whatever I sought was something worth dying over.
To the pub and back.
Ahoy, sailor! Are you in... Those orcs must be out of their barbarous minds launching an attack on a city where a great wizard resides. I'll tell you, the only time I'd consider waging a suicide campaign like that would be if whatever I sought was something worth dying over.
Oh, to my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Ha! No, it ain't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthalgore anymore?
Speaking of youthful cure, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky-chan loves him.
I wouldn't let naught within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Ha! No, it ain't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthalgore anymore?
Speaking of youthful cure, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky-chan loves him.
I wouldn't let naught within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Ha! No, it ain't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthalgore anymore?
Speaking of youthful cure, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky-chan loves him.
I wouldn't let naught within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Ha! No, it ain't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthalgore anymore?
Speaking of youthful cure, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky-chan loves him.
I wouldn't let naught within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
Ha! No, it ain't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthalgore anymore?
Speaking of youthful cure, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky-chan loves him.
Name's Conrad. Cargo trader, sea captain, an expert...
Forget about the time the captain took the Duchess
Ahoy,
of
sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh winds of Sicile?
And don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthalgore anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for a joyride?
Ha! Knowing him, he drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
Is that why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore?
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage with a joyride?
Knowing him, he
Really?
drove it straight to
The
pub and
greatest
back.
warriors in Rivellon can't cross a road.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Councillor's wife.
That's why we never sail to Yuthel Gore anymore.
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that Orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orc within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Psst! Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage with a joyride?
Ha! Knowing him, he drove it straight to the pub and back. Honest lad for an honest day.
I don't know how you did that hocus pocus, but boy, am I grateful. Nothing worse than seeing a fire. I thought the old girl's fate was sealed when the orc shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails, but you managed to rescue her from a watery grave. Closest thing to a miracle I've...
All hail the rain spirit! That was a fine display of magicianship it was. Ah, who knew what he was doing bringing in a source hunter, didn't he? I thought the old gal's fate was sealed when the orc shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails.
Moo-wee!
Where?
Well, tuck my tail and call me Bessie. A 2 feet addressing me directly? Huh, I thought I'd never see the day. Oh, me and my brother Bull have dragged this here cart all around Sightseal, from dock to graveyard and back again. Speaking of Bull, you ought to say hello to him. He's clairvoyant, you know. Can tell your fortune to the T.
I'm seeing 2 feet approaching me, and here you are. I'm Bull, the leading clairvoyant in Sightseal. The 2 feets never bother to ask, but I see all that is and is to be. Of course, most winsome 2 feet, of course. Why, yes, most wealthy indeed. But you must be vigilant, 2 feet. Well, that depends, 2 feet. That depends. I see that love has caused you to falter in the past. Yes, falter dearly. You must reconcile your mistakes before you will find true love. Death. Ever the more I see, oh dear. No, no, your reading is over, do you hear? Over.
Sightseal, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up. Keep your pleasantries to yourself.
What are you doing inside this warehouse, snooping? If it's conversation you're looking for, I'd recommend my... As for myself, my job is to protect this warehouse, not chit-chat with intruders. That idiot man-child would sooner spend an hour chatting up a thief than a minute arresting him. I only hope he gets transferred out of this warehouse and straight to the perimeter. Let him rot off as zombies here instead of mine. Nah, even thinking of him turns one into a gabbing hen. Please, leave me be.
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Sergeant Curtius, proud protector of this House of Legion goods. Curtius is my name. The Legion is my calling. This is a storing house for Legion supplies. Perhaps the most important building in the realm, by my and others' estimation. And I, Sergeant Curtius, have been trusted to guard it.
Well, a source hunter. A very hearty welcome to our humble warehouse. Have a look around. And don't mind if I pick your brain about the scoop around Undervale. I'm behind on my current affairs. I tell you, this gig sure beats getting my toes bitten off by zombies out in the field. We warehouse guards don't have to do much apart from stroll the perimeter a few times an hour. And, of course, every now and again, some friendly folks, like yourself, will wander through here. And nothing beats a pleasant conversation, though my comrade Horatius has quite different opinions on that matter. Have you talked to him? Thinks every man, woman and child who steps foot in this place wants to rob it blind. If I so much as greet a townsperson with a hello instead of a state your purpose, he starts frothing on and on about guardly duty and security breaches. This Jake business is quite the scandal, no? I myself suspect his wife, Esmeralda, and the butcher seconds that, let me tell you. Then again, and you didn't hear this from me, he's going through quite the nasty divorce himself, and there's his children to consider. But I imagine his youngest, Kimberly, won't mind. Never did get on well with her mother ever since the incident. Oh, it's an unparalleled pleasure having a fresh ear around here. That fusspot said what? Well, old loose lips will let that lowly backbiter know what he thinks about that. Hey. So, something you'd like to say to my face?
I haven't a thing to say to you. I'm on duty.
Duty?
This place reeks of orc stench.
Are you mad? We're guards, not drunks on the streets.
Here now! What is this, barbers? Back to your post at once!
Sir, this is an important matter. A matter of honor.
Such matters are to be settled on your own time. Understood?
Understood, sir.
Such bickering is all that thieves need to sneak by unnoticed.
It won't happen again, sir.
It better damn well not. Desist, prowler. None shall pass through this door, for with my very life do I guard the Legion's riches.
That old spoilsport Horatius can gripe all he wants. I will let...
too late, indeed. Not even a skeptic like you can deny that she loves me.
An orc in love? Ha! When this little charm fades, she'll liberate the flesh from our faces.
Come now, enough doom and gloom. Cast your gaze instead upon my fair, fanged filly.
Ah, who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators, not pets?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be, but this one has been reformed. Anyone can see that she's completely docile. But my prejudiced friend here still wants to kill her.
Maybe before the Great Orc Raid we had time to indulge Ninius's idiotic obsessions. But now we're needed at our posts. I can hardly believe I've been wasting time protecting an orc when I should be running them through.
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all. One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all.
Excuse my friend's violent outbursts. He hasn't enjoyed a woman's touch in quite some time now. It makes him a bit edgy.
This place
Your
reeks.
woman's touch is less of a loving caress and more of a claw shanked brutally through the throat. I'll take my chances as a bachelor, thanks.
My friend here and I were patrolling outside the city walls, when who did I see creeping along the shore but this lovely orcish lady? For a brief second, as long as eternity, we locked eyes. Perhaps confused by the butterflies in her stomach, she sprang up and began running, claws bared towards Marius. Fortunately for him, I had the presence of mind to ignore my sword and instead adroitly fling my pouch of trinkets towards her. A vial of love potion shattered over her head, and when she turned to face me,
she became instantly enamored. I'm sure she must have been compelled to join the Orcish army under some kind of duress. A lady with such a sweetly savage manner would...
Ha! I can assure you there wasn't a hint of sweetness in those murderous eyes when she lunged at my throat. She may be confined here for now, but who's telling when she'll escape and who she'll rip to shreds?
Ah, I've always had an amateur interest in all things alchemical. When I read in an esteemed periodical from the Wizards of Youthful Gore about an amazing opportunity that could change my life, I had to act fast or lose the once-in-a-lifetime deal. I sent away for the world-famous love potion, available for a limited time only, and it has worked exactly as promised.
You see what a fool my friend has been, spending all his cash on snake oil and bringing a
What kind of monster would lie in a published advertisement? I'm sure the effects of the potion will be everlasting, as printed.
You see, he'd believe it was noon at midnight if he read it on a printed pamphlet. Please tell me you can reason with him, or ditch reason and use your sword to shave him from his murderous darling.
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all.
Let her live. If that potion were truly worthless, it wouldn't have been able to charm her in the first place. In this docile state, she may prove to be a source of valuable information.
You would trust a quack magazine from Youthful Gore? She's clearly liable to snap at any minute.
Think of the intel this creature could provide. And if she begins to revert, these men are armed and will be able to subdue her.
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all.
You must realize that if this orc gets loose in the city, we're the ones who'll have to put her down and deal with the bloody aftermath.
One day, Moira. One day you'll show 'em all.
All right, we'll do it your way.
Glad to hear I'm not the only one with common sense around.
No! She's harmless! Please! You bastard! You had no right!
No right to protect not only you from your own stupidity, but myself and the citizens of Syceal as well.
It's you we need protection from, murderer. Fortunately, the wizards of Youthful Gore make a revenge elixir that will show you what's what.
Go ahead and throw your sugar water on me if you like. Your foolishness is no longer my problem. Thank you, stranger. If you ever need help, I'll do my best to repay you.
This place reeks of orc stench. Thank you for talking some sense into that knucklehead. That she-beast would have been the death of us.
Do it in peace.
Just making conversation, mate.
Desist, prowler. None shall pass through this door. Away from there, you pilferer. That room is off limits. Good. But do not tempt fate again.
Praise is elsewhere.
Rotting sea garbage.
Halt! These gates are to remain closed at all times. Cap will now be a little red imp's uncle, the Source Hunter. Sorry for the gruff treatment. I didn't recognize you right away. Please tell me, how can I aid the investigation? You can see security's tighter than ever around here since that surprise attack the Orcs put on a fortnight ago. They did enough damage to shake up Ahu and Captain Aureus something fierce. We can only hope to hold back the undead and these left-field Orc attacks long enough for reinforcements to arrive.
That orc would have literally broken Ninius's heart. Thank you for resolving the matter. That orc would have literally broken Ninius's heart. Thank you for resolving the matter.
We're not done yet.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
I should have done this from the very
Still
start.
thinking about exploring the beach? You're free to go, though we Legionnaires are under strict orders never to abandon our posts, so we won't be able to back you up.
I should have done this from the very start.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
I should have done this from the very start.
Still thinking about it? I don't think you're quite ready to head out into the wilds to me. Also, a party of 1 or 2 runs the risk of being outflanked and outnumbered. I'll bring some backup if I were you. Of course, the choice is yours, but are you sure you want to venture out? Thank you for heeding my words of warning.
I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
I should have done this from the very start.
Back on your feet, soldier!
It never ends around here. There's a zombie in my garden, the sheep is missing, an orc ate my baby. Night and day and night.
Source Hunter's here too.
I've spotted something interesting.
I give milk. I give wool. And what do I get in return? One way or another, they always try to fleece me. Especially that Evelyn. She's out to get me. I know it. Meh. I give milk. I give wool. And what do I get in return? One way or another, they always try to fleece me. Especially that Evelyn. She's out to get me. I know it. Meh.
Moo! Don't disturb Master Theliron now. He's been so busy with his research, the poor dear hasn't had a proper night's sleep in months.
think black sheep are weird. Try weir sheep.
Tricks are for kids. This here is the greatest illusion in Andorel.
Liberté, equality, and brotherhood for all will turn the wicked cleaver of decapitation upon you. Revolution is coming!
Sauce hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. Now that the herd's gone, old Bertie's just scratching by like a hen till the next batch of beasties comes through. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced. Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Was planning to cook her into a fine midwinter night haggis myself. Do tell me if you hear anything about her. I plan on pursuing whoever stole her with my cleaver in hand. Sorry, can't help you there. Haven't got enough livestock left to warrant a hand with the work.
Any takers? Come on, you chickens.
Livestock's got twice the sense and thrice the soul of the average human, I say.
Don't talk to me. You're making me lose focus. Can't you see I'm busy modeling? Obviously, someone's plumage is as magnificent as all those naysayers in the past. Bah! See what I've become. Hundreds of years from now, people will wonder, who is that cook? It must have been a grand cook. Signs.
Ah, hello, proportionate one. Oh, I can see from the symmetry in your face that you are a great fan of the fine arts, no? I'm a painter by trade, as you can see, but a cartographer at heart. You might think there isn't enough work for one of my talents in a downtrodden city like Sice. I travel around Andervale, mastering my craft and finding new subjects to add to my litany of lovely portraits and complex maps.
I'm straight. I'm true. Arrows by the dozens. Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Fresh haddock. Perfect for a fry-up.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold.
Oh, a sauce hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by nearly 20 centimeters of tibia, as my memory serves.
Anybody?
No matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartiest specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Huh?
Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence.
Me? Why, I'm more than a little surprised you haven't heard of me. Perhaps I can jog your memory. It was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of Cicuta Douglasii on the tongue. Not to mention that it's been my guidance that has permitted my apprentice Evelyn to make quite a name for herself around Sicile of late.
So, which of you is...
Yes. If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method she refuses to share with her own master. She's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you can prevail upon her to offer a demonstration. She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats of healing, but she won't let me take the briefest look at it. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silverglen by name, and that an abbot there blessed it with the power to heal. Utter rubbish, I say. But with these blasted undead haunting the travel routes, I can hardly march up to Silverglen to learn the truth myself. Well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes to making difficult medical decisions.
So, which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case. So, which of you is more deserving of life? Come, make your case. Anybody? Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence.
I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is learning from the best, after all. Sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of medicine. Unless one of them happens to have a secret stash of healing stones. Certainly, what would you like to know? The counsellor. Terrible loss, that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil servant.
So, which of you is more deserving of life?
From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret, you know. I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be neither controlled nor understood by mere...
Stone?
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Certainly, what would you like to know? I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it. I declare it an act of the Almighty's, if I believed in such things. Some events, Source Hunter, can be neither controlled nor understood by mere men.
So, which of you is more deserving of
Certainly,
life?
what would you like to know? You there, cut it out.
Anybody? Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence. Anybody? Neither of you cares to plead for his very existence. You'll have none of that, you hear? Excuse me? This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are, barging in here? Out, I say!
I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life?
I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing! But this decision feels like precisely the opposite. I have but one healing stone, you see, and 2 direly wounded men who need it. I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation, but perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed source hunter. Surely you are more accustomed to weighing life and death than I. What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but excellent in matters of business, before he fell victim to an orcish club in the north. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight away. Quite the venerable staple of Cyseal, Stephen, and recently blessed with his 3rd grandchild. He was leading a crew of builders when a stray beam struck him in the temple, and only a few days shy of his last day of work before retirement, no less. Nearly everyone in Cyseal is familiar with Grinning Stephen, and, as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. He is of a certain faith, the Immaculates, they call themselves, that espouses the belief that certain stones can heal wounded flesh. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger instantly healed, leaving no trace, but it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. It takes time to regain its magical properties, and I guard it cautiously. Don't dither long. These men are slipping ever closer toward the...
That tone, soothing a corpse's troubled mind, can't have gotten far.
What do you think? Would you like to learn more about the... What would you like to know? One of the brave few willing to traverse. Thankfully for him, a cattle trader found him, nearly dead, but not quite so, and brought him here straight. Quite the venerable staple of Cyseal, Stephen. Nearly everyone in Cyseal is familiar with Grinning Stephen, and, as you can imagine, he's quite dear to his family. You are? Ah, I thank you a million times for your help. Who have you just...
Can't have gotten far. Tone, soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gone far.
Stephen should receive the stone. We know full well the difficulty of growing up without a family.
Tone, soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten
far. Boris has an entire life ahead of him. We're giving him 40, 50 more years, while Stephen only has half as many left to him.
Stephen's death will hurt far more lives than Boris's will. Let's minimize the heartbreak of this terrible situation and save Stephen.
Boris is nearly our own age. Imagine being cut down now, in the prime of your life.
No, we'll do as I say.
Stephen, it is. Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man, but... No, this is highly abnormal.
Thank you.
What is this? This lightning!
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone. Somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible, terrible, terrible! It will consume us all! By the quill that lasts a billion words, what's this? 2 Rivellonians here? At the end of space and time? How very, very, very curious! Oh, yes, proper introductions. Zixex the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was, and is, and hopefully all that is to be. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time is as easy as 1, 2, 3. How you got here, though? That's a rather on such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time. I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow. Ah, at last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart into your stomach and your pulse a-flutter, it should have. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally, utterly terrible has happened. Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens, and feast your soon-to-be terrified eyes on the darkness that is approaching.
Might be quite mad.
Then we better appease him and have a look through the looking lens.
You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's... The portal has become The portal! It's quite sprung to life, just like the long, dormant flames that decorate this observatory. After all my waiting and hoping, could it be? You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. The true end itself to move further away. Those torches, a light! This portal active once more! It cannot be coincidence. Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since I first discovered it. It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I speak of the end of time, this is exactly what I mean. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past and present as well. It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this very then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. Though I cannot say for certain, if it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagued your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out for certain. After you, after you. Oh, what one... You first, but don't dilly-dally. Yes! Just as I hoped! There she is! There it is! Come, don't delay!
And he's off.
It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
Indeed, Sir Imp, as surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask,
You have brought guests, I see. Strange. Very strange guests.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why? Surely you must know.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane? If any other being in Rivellon asked me about the details of their comings and goings, I could describe them down to the minutest of details. But you are different. Of you, I see nothing. I know nothing. So please, do tell me, how did you arrive here? A stone. So, it was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life as well. Is that so? Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not simply spring into existence, you see. But yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven all that is and could ever be into your tapestry?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry until they revived the stone. Source Hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you yourselves truly are. Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret. A secret lost. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry?
Mysteries of all time. Gaps in history. Oh, how they...
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus, it restores time itself.
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes, though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all. Indeed you must, though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers within Starstone. Yet we are not the only entities who know these stones to be so much more than pretty gems.
Why, of course, that's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach. They'd prevent the mending of time.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the Void's insatiable hunger.
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First we mend the tapestry, then we please our most mysterious guest. Are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt out... Come, come! I've got something for you if you're up to the challenge. The glint in your gaze and the set of your brow suggest to me that you've not given up on our dear old Rivellon. Not just yet. No, with you searching out Starstone, I believe we'll mend the tapestry in no time. We'll find out just who you are and how exactly to send the Void back to wherever it came from. But you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and this homestead, won't you? Who wouldn't want to see what fantastic changes your search will yield? And who knows what the Weaver might discover about you? Luckily, the power of portals is known to you, so I'll let you in on the little secret of how to transport back and forth from the end of time. Just, don't go sharing it around. Never know who we can trust. Off you go, then. You've Starstone to find, and I've a tapestry to examine. Surely there must be some clue here as to how on earth you're related to the end of time.
Cross my heart, hope to fade in the void, I honestly don't know. But ask her. If she claims it is so, perhaps she knows why.
Like the imp said to the ballista operator, shoot! Wouldn't it just? Would that I had a Starstone sightseeing guide, but alas, such a booklet doesn't. Just like yourselves, Starstones are curiously absent from history, both in my... From what I can gather, though, they were once cherished by devious sorcerers whose reign ended long ago. The stones are therefore most likely to be found in ruins, caves, the lairs of long-forgotten evils. Those are the dens you should frequent. 2 more pieces of advice. Don't go unarmed, and consult with my agent.
All this reading I'm doing is straining my fucking eyes. There's no middle ground. I can't sit too far back, I can't sit too close.
Neither do I, but the mere fact that activated Starstone has set the Weaver of Time weaving again more than implies that it and the Void Dragon are natural enemies. This in turn more than implies that you are the Void's natural enemy, for it is you who is setting new events in motion. You who is handing the Weaver new threads. And that which she is weaving is more than an ornament to decorate the shelter plane. It is both history and future history. It is all of time. We may not understand the how yet, but our aim is clear. We shall save creation from the grip of the Void. Now, Isn't that a lovely mission? Oh, I don't know if I'm more than those things per se, but having been given a divine mission does have its perks. Old age can't touch me, that's one. Immortality is mine as long as no one skewers me with a sword, and even then I'll be back in a jiffy. But of course I have a price to pay for something that is priceless. It is my duty to record all of history, and an arduous task that is. Not to mention how much stress that void out there is causing. So, gather those star stones so that we may know the history that was lost. Know so that we must not repeat what leads us to this dangerous precipice, but do better and close the dark eye of the void forever. Lonesome, observing the frontier of creation, surfing the vibrant tide of the eons, always approaching yet never reaching shore. Lonesome, being privy to all that has been and all that is. Well, yes, actually. I don't mean to complain, but one certainly doesn't mind a bit of company now, and perhaps you can imagine the profound pleasure it is to have made the Weaver's acquaintance after all these years. I can hardly wait to pick her brain about the great battle of the Sons of Sigurd. The last Rivellonian who remembers it died more than 7,000 years ago. Before you go, Source Hunter, a final word. Once you return to Rivellon, there will be someone waiting for you. My agent, my eyes and ears upon your world. I hope he'll be able to help you as much as he can. Time, I need heart. Do you know more about the Void? What it is? What lies at the heart of it?
What lies at its heart? Why, nothing, of course. The great absence of all that even the gods cannot comprehend. It eludes us, like infinity, or the finality of tick-tocking time. How welcome you are upon this realm, our most honored guest. I hope you begin to find this place more familiar than it may yet seem. In the ethereal threads of eternity, do I record the deeds of gods and men, of beasts and spectral apparitions. The drift of continents through changing seas, the rise and fall of empires, the shift of every grain of sand on every beach, the fall of every raindrop on every world, the all but imperceptible touch of lovers' hands. This and all I chronicle without fault. Except, it seems, you. Ask and I shall answer, if I can. I am the Weaver of Time, as I have told you. Though my existence is one that falls behind and yet far exceeds the verb to be. I am but what I am, and that is task. It is the same for the historian. Chroniclers both are we of the epics of eternity. Perhaps we are one and the same. Task multiplied by 2. Who has made us? I do not know. Why have they done so? I do not know. Am I the beginning? And am I to be the end? Who shall say? Perhaps I am the first thing in creation. Perhaps I am creation. Perhaps I am the creator. Or maybe it is you. You who makes dying stars rekindle. Time alone will tell. Alas, the answers to those questions still elude me. You and Starstone remain the imperfections upon the tapestry. As yet. A hidden answer lies behind this veil of inscrutability, though. For the link between you and the stones reveals that your destinies are intertwined. I believe that Starstones will not lead you to new places of wonder only. No. They will also lead to new knowledge through the restoration of the threads of old. Oh, Hunter, I have no need for company, like I have no need for air or appetite or affection. All I need, and yet, I do enjoy your companionship, for you may prove to become the cure that will heal my slipping soul. Quite so. Your absence, it should be an impossibility, but no matter where I look, you cannot be found. I do not know you, which makes you my one perennial imperfection, a blind spot in the eye of time. But perchance I may be cured of this blindness. Perchance the blemish may be undone, and time can be redeemed. What it is but a seed bereft of sun and water. What it could be, that is what the Starstones will tell us. What it is but the end. What it could be is the end of ends. I reside in another realm altogether. But ever since the end of time appeared in these deep, dark skies, I materialized here, as if forced to watch the one thing that is unwatchable, unendurable. A thankless task that you may yet free me from forever. I think that perhaps you can redeem time, because you create time. Indeed, you have set in motion an event I no longer held possible. Know that no longer I did weave. I sat here at the end of time and watched on as the void frays the fabric of time like a terrified god that fears the offspring of his own creations. But suddenly there was you. You who stirred the life within the stones. These stones, children of stars, they place new ribbons along my fingers like phantoms out of time. New threads emerged, and I began to weave anew. Starstone gives me new strands to braid into the tapestry. And because you give Starstone energy, it seems that you are creating time. These Starstones, please, seek them so that time may yet be mended. Please, for the sake of all that lives and all that loves, seek them so that the void may yet devour itself alone. How might I serve our mission? Ask, and I shall answer, if I can.
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come to no harm. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zigzax, let us turn to the business at hand. Starstone.
As soon as we're packed up.
Slimy, reeking, rotting
And I'll be
sea.
delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the fly. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of dying time must... That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way. While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the Grande Dame of Time, I snuck into his house and had a look around.
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rot. I can't even smell the sea air over this rot.
Sail, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rot. I can't even smell the sea air over this rot. Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks. I can't even smell the sea air over this rot. I can't even smell the sea air over this rot. Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
The advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes the lady of the house even rewards you with a slice of fresh herring.
Sail, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels. Steady, boys, steady.
Plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent, though bloody murder may have been committed in their name. Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket, but perhaps I speak only for myself, not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity call any patch of Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a precious circumstance, savoured all too seldomly. Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument stripped of the potential of creation. It is void. It is death. It is nothing.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rot.
I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there among the stars. But I do know if Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I lays beside the hearths of home. I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthal Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert, then shared what little food and water he had with him. So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. I was awed and frightened, but swore to help him in any way I could. As of now, Oh, before you go, here. Take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that zigzags. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Use this one here and it'll take you straight to its twin. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunt.
I can't even smell the sea air over this rot. Slimy, reeking, rotting sea garbage.
Oh my gods! What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you? A magical pyramid, eh? Frivolous and lecherous magic, more like. Leave my house. Out! Now, if you please! This room is private. Don't just stand there. Go! Away with you! What are you still doing here? Begone! Out! Now, if you please! This room is private.
Quiet day on the market, it seems.
Well, hello there.
How do you want to ruin this particular
Thank you eternally for your help. Though your reaction to the healing stone, I have no idea what to make of it. That strange reaction you caused. Blue lightning from a healing stone. I've never seen anything like it. And the stone looks different now, too. Like it's devoid of life. I begin to wonder if its magical properties survived your little reaction.
To what do I owe the repeated pleasure, Source Hunter? Another family restored, thanks to the healing arts. I'm glad to hear that Stephen will be returning to the comfortable life he's built. Thank you for your help in this matter.
Well, what sort of arrows do you want? Freezing? Silver? Poison? Get to the point.
Well, hello there.
Aaron has as many friends as the man with many cheeses. Eat a big cheese on your book with a wheel of the good stuff.
Heavenly herring, delicious dogfish, yours for a scrap of gold each.
Let us see if you can choose the finest green.
What are ye staring at?
Fresh haddock, perfect for a fire.
Captain Jack's the name, though the title may be a little generous at the moment. My crew ran off, and I can't find enough hardy souls to help me reload the ship and sail off. Those scallywags heard there be silver in the Lacula mines, and they abandoned ship like the lily-livered turkeys they are. Haven't seen them since the day we docked. Some poor chaps lost their ship and want some work. Just send them to me, and tell them there's a bit of coin and a lot of rum coming their way if they don't mind a bit of honest.
Livestock's got twice the sense and thrice the soul of the average human.
Well, hello there.
Borrow indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear. Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Sicil began. Still, that doesn't waive a man's need to eat, you know.
Let's see.
I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve. So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
Choose the finest green. Not the move for cheese. That excuse is more holes than a slice of this fine corn left.
Watch the undead quiver in their mouldy boots.
Let us see if
I suppose you've got a point. Another day, another rumbling belly. A hungry man, you know.
Mouldy boots.
Get it while it's fresh. This batch is only hours from the sea.
That thief is free for now, but I wonder how long it'll be until his growling belly seduces him back onto the crooked path. Thank you for making that would-be thief see reason. I only hope your instruction lasts. The last thing the plagued people of Sicil need.
Halibut, sheep's cheese. Don't scuttle away before you've tried some of the ocean's finest bounty. How many crab claws would you like? 3? 11? I listened in while you were talking to that would-be thief.
Thank you for preserving my stock. It's no wonder you source hunters and...
Honoured to meet you. Wish I was a source hunter.
Solution to the zombie problem than a set of silver arrows.
Lonesome, spiritless, perhaps wrestling an earth elemental will inject some vim into your...
No better solution to the zombie problem than a set of...
I should have done this from the very start.
Size sail, shivery damper, honest day, honest day.
Speaking of youthful jaw, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
Ask the source hunter. Go on.
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything. Really? So there's a captain offering booze and brass for a bit of crate loading. Gods be praised. You've done it, friend. Off we go.
You got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Council's wife.
From the mainland. Is that why we never sailed for your football anymore?
Speaking of youthful jaw, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I wouldn't let an orphan farm under yards of my loving nature.
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day. Hello there. Welcome to Seal.